Hi, hello. I thought there was a bit of a delay there. It said I didn't have enough signal, which is very unusual. So hopefully that'll sort itself out and I'll be here for the whole time that I'm with you. So welcome. Thank you all for listening in, especially those of you on the replay. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy this little session with me. So this is my first one that I've done into the Angel Cafe, and probably only the second one I've actually done, so let's see how it goes. So for most of you probably don't know me, my name is Diane Campbell. Hello, people starting to arrive now. Nice to see you turning up. So as I was saying, just a few issues there with the internet there, said it wasn't going to be enough power, so hopefully it'll be with us long enough for me to get through what I'm going to do with you today. So first of all, trying to get us all into the right frame of mind, I'm going to do with you a little bit later on a meditation that kind of connects with nature. Hello Sarah, nice to see you. They're supporting me. It's been a bit of a hectic morning, but we're here now and we can kind of, it's pretty much this time of year, isn't it? We can kind of balance things out there. So yeah, we're going to do a little meditation that connects you with nature. So it'd be nice for you to do it live, but it'll be just as nice to have it as a little thing that you can come back to when you're feeling things a little bit stressed. So first of all, just introduce myself. So I'm Diane Campbell. I run the Lavender Room, which is kind of where I am now from my treatment room home. I've been a complementary therapist for over 20 years. That sounds scary when you say it out loud, doesn't it? So over the years I've got lots of different therapies, kind of been interested in something, needed to find out how it works. So some hands-on therapies like aromatherapy and reflexology, and some more kind of energetic things like Reiki, and also working with flower essences. Sorry, I get distracted with all the little hearts going past on the screen. So yeah, I'm going to help you to kind of, after the whole energy of the full moon, and I know a lot of people have been feeling quite unbalanced, ungrounded over the last week or so, so this little meditation will help you to ground as well and connect with the kind of natural world that's around you, and use that as to your advantage. So I say we're doing lots of therapies. I work with essential oils. I use them in treatments for people doing massages and that kind of thing. I make products using them, so whether it's little roller balls, whether it's for relaxation, or if you're feeling a bit tired and you need to stay awake and concentrate, again, I'll make little things for that. And I, as I say, do some energetic work as well. I do Reiki, and I'm also a flower essence practitioner. And we'll be looking and connecting with some of the flowers in our meditation today, which works really well. So I'm also a yoga teacher. I've been doing that, loving doing that for about 9 or 10 years now. I've just taught a yoga class this morning. A friend has injured themselves, so I stepped in and covered their class for her, so that was quite nice. So I often bring the two worlds together. We might use essential oils or essences in the class. I know that I've seen some talk on some yoga sites where people are not sure about what they can and can't use, but providing that you know what you're doing, especially if you're qualified, it's something you can quite easily use. So little misters in the room is quite nice, particularly most of my classes are in gyms, and the room, it might be set up as a beautiful yoga studio, but there may have been something not quite as conducive for yoga than before us, because one of the beautiful rooms is used as a spin studio as well, so sometimes it's not very nice energy in there. So we might use some essential oils and some essences, flower essences, just kind of really saw that energy that's been there, and have some nice fresh energy for us going in there, and the students definitely do feel a difference. So they quite like they're intrigued by some of the things that I bring in. I'm also very much working with Sarah with some of the moon phases and kind of getting to know those a little bit more, and get to know when the better times are for me and the times that I maybe struggle. I know lots of people struggle to sleep during the full moon, and I've got a very good friend that really struggles to sleep when it's full moon. Thankfully that doesn't really bother me that much. So I want you to make sure that you're going to be in a place, so when we do come to the relaxation, that you're not going to be disturbed. if you can, you know, take yourself off somewhere quiet, particularly when you, particularly when we come back to the replay later on. Sorry, I'm not very good at reading and talking at the same time. Must work with that. So yeah, so particularly later would be quite good. I've just taught a class this morning, and it's only a short class. They don't usually get any relaxation, whereas that kind of is my main thing when I'm teaching my yoga. I emphasise on the sort of relaxation and make sure that gets a part of the class, even if it's only a 1 hour class. I don't just do a little 5 minutes at the end. I'll at least try and get at least 10, maybe 15. So they got 15 this morning, a little yoga nidra. So yoga nidra is the yogic sleep where we relax the body and the mind kind of systematically, and you can do kind of whole 1 hour sessions on that. And not very often I get a chance to do a nice full one like that. I do have a yoga nidra essence that I made at one of my retreats that a non-yoga person trialled for me, and she was really impressed with it and has since come back and had a few more. So that's what's like an environmental essence, so that's quite good. So yeah, get somewhere, it's going to be quiet, it's going to be warm, and we can ground and we can connect and work with this beautiful little relaxation. And then hopefully afterwards we can maybe have a few, if anybody's got any questions, or if they've got anything that they want to share, if they've perhaps had a particular experience, because we all have something probably quite different. So I teach local classes. I'm in the Wirral, right near Liverpool, and I do local classes here weekly. But I do run retreats, and say it's the relaxations that people enjoy the most. And they come to, I do 1 day ones locally. I run weekends, generally in North Wales, because I'm very close to North Wales, in Llandudno. Very small, lovely little sessions there in Llandudno. And I've also got a 1 week one in southwest France planned for June for next year, so that's quite exciting. That's going to be something new to look forward to for next year. So let's get ourselves comfy. Have you got yourself something nice and warm? If you need to put another layer on or put a heater on nearby. I don't know how it is for you there today, but it's quite warm here now. It's a bit cool earlier on, but it's warmed up quite nicely. So if you want to lie down, you can lie down, which would be wonderful really, especially if you're listening to the recording afterwards, and you can maybe lie down on your bed, or so it's usually a yoga mat when I'm doing this. So just whatever's comfortable for you, or in a nice squashy chair or on the sofa, where you can be fully supported and get ourselves into a nice comfortable position. So asking for the details. The French retreat it's all the information is on my website, which I generally forget to tell you about that. So my website is thelavenderroom.co.uk, and there's a page on there with some photographs and some bits of information about this lovely place. It's a yoga dome in the beautiful landscape. It's kind of right in the middle of nowhere, so it's a complete retreat, in so much as it's not very close to a town or anything, so we can simply switch off from the outside world. You can connect if you want to, but you don't need to. So that's the beauty of it, and I've been on them in the past, and it's quite nice to just kind of get away from everything else, all the hustle and bustle of life, and just kind of immerse yourself in that lovely energy with, I'm sure there'll be some lovely people. We always have really nice groups of people that get together on the little sessions that are doing. I've had some really, really good feedback, which again, there's a couple of testimonials on the website about some of the 1 day and the weekend ones that I've done in the past. So let's get yourselves all nice and comfortable, and I'll get myself a little quick drink, and we'll get ourselves all ready for our relaxation. So comfortable, whether it's lying down, whether it's sitting up. And if you're sitting up, have your feet on the floor with a nice straight upright back. And if you're lying down, just get comfortable. So if you need to lie, generally we say lie on your back, but if that's not comfy for you, I know some people prefer to be on their tummy or on the side. Just go with what feels right for you. So let your eyes just begin to close. Hi, Aideen. Nice to see you. So just getting ourselves ready for our relaxation. So let your eyes close gently and just feel the weight of your body sinking down into the support. Feel the support beneath you, whether it's the chair, whether it's the floor if we were lying on a yoga mat, whether it's the bed. And let's begin with taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And let it go with a sigh, and just sigh out any tension in the body, letting go of anything that we're holding on to. So it's a very busy time of year, so all that busyness, we've perhaps had a busy morning, perhaps it's been a busy week, so just let go of everything else. So don't let anything disturb you. Try and just give yourself this little bit of time to let go of everything. We very much, sorry about that, I seem to have lost you. So it's telling me that my connection is weak, and I'm right next to the thing, so it should be okay. Let's see if we can carry on, and maybe the gremlins will go away and leave us to it. So let eyes gently close and become aware of your breathing. So very often it can seem as if we're just a little head with no body attached, because lots of people live very much in their heads. So just let go of all that mind chatter, that busyness in the head. So there's a wonderful Sanskrit word that they use in yoga called chitta-vritti, or 2 words, and that's that kind of busyness in your mind, where the mind jumps from thought to thought. So let go, and the mind will begin to wander. Much though you'll try to keep it nice and still, it may begin to wander. Now, as soon as you notice that, bring your awareness back to your breath and to the movement of the body. So just noticing your breathing, the incoming breath, the outgoing breath, and also the pauses. There's a little moment of stillness at the top of the in-breath when the lungs are full, and again at the end of the exhale there's a moment of stillness. So notice where we feel that breath moving the body. So do we feel it in the upper chest? Lots of people only ever breathe in that top third of the lungs. Do we feel it a bit lower down in the belly, in the rib cage? And not then judging whether that's right or not. Just let it be exactly how it is. You're just observing where the breath is. Where does it move? So watching wherever you find it easiest to observe the breathing. Some like to breathe and notice the breath at the nostrils. Others prefer the throat or the chest or the belly. And if somebody tells you to watch it at one place, you might not notice it there. So just watch for the breath. There's a wonderful breathing technique that we use in yoga, Ujjayi breathing. We just let the throat kind of close off slightly, closes the glottis, and you just get a slight sound in the back of the throat, and you'll find that really deepens the breath. It's a really good tool that is useful for quietening the mind and quietening the body. I've just had one of my students tell me last night how wonderful she's found this breathing technique. It's really helped her out, so she's been having a lot of anxiety, so she's found it's really, really helpful. So it's a really good, useful little tip, a little practice that you can use in your toolkit of all things that can help us to relax. So watching the breath flow in and out, noticing how does it differ. Are the breaths of equal length or not? And again, that's not right or wrong, just notice. You're just here to observe. How does that feel? So now hopefully we're beginning to find a little bit of stillness maybe in the mind. We can let go of all those plotting and planning that the mind does, especially this busy time of year. So let go of all that list making and organising and let all of that go. Nobody needs you for this next little while. You can just be here with your breath. allow your breathing then to deepen slightly. Whether it's just the exhale gets a little bit longer, try and breathe lower down into the belly. Feel the belly expand, feel the rib cage expand, and fill the lungs right to the very top. Notice that pause before you exhale. Belly contracts, rib cage contracts, and release all of the air from the lungs. And then become aware of your body. So it can feel when we suddenly stop, if we've had a busy morning or a busy week, it can feel like everything's just moving around, or the energy's all swirling around us. Like when you shake one of those snow globes, it's all moving. Feel that begin to settle now as your energies just settle and relax. Feel where you connect with what's beneath you, so feel the back of the body and release the weight of your body into that support. Let your head be supported if you're sat upright, preferably have your head against the back of a chair or lying down. And if you need to make any adjustments, then adjusting yourself to get comfortable. So feel the back of the body expand and spread, filling as much space as you can on your seat or on the bed. And get an idea of how much space that you take up, trying to expand and release. So now that we're finding things a little bit more still in the mind, notice where is your awareness being drawn to in your body. So you may suddenly find now that the mind has quietened, you may suddenly be aware of a sensation in the body that you perhaps hadn't noticed before. So send your breath and your awareness into that sensation. It might be some tension, maybe it's a bit of discomfort, perhaps if you've had an injury somewhere, or you've been just overdoing things and your muscles now are feeling quite tense. Breathe into whatever sensations we can feel there and begin to release whatever is causing that. So release the tension. So let the breaths be nice and long and deep. And if we need to sigh, we can sigh away the tension in the body. So feeling into the solar plexus and see if there are any sensations there. So it can get quite busy at this time of year, and sometimes that seat of our emotions there can feel a little uncomfortable. So a good little technique is to just breathe into the sensation that is there. So we don't need to name it, we don't need to work out why it's there, we can just let all of that go and just simply breathe into the sensation that's there. It's a very simple technique. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed with an emotion and are sometimes not even sure what that emotion is. I know I've experienced that myself. And it's a good little technique to just sit and breathe into the solar plexus and let go of the stories and just breathe in and release. So allow the breath to take you a little bit deeper into relaxation. So each of the in-breaths bringing soothing, warming and calming relaxation into your mind and into your body. Soothing, healing, warming, comforting. And with the exhale, think about releasing. So releasing any tension that we're holding on to, letting go of any nagging thoughts that might be swirling around in your head, letting go of all the busyness, and just be here suspended with the breath. So as release, think about on the exhale releasing as well things that we're holding in our everyday life, whether it's old habits that we're hanging on to, that we're perhaps not doing as very good. Perhaps we need to take care of ourselves a little bit more. We're pushing too much and we perhaps need to listen to the body and just maybe change things. Maybe take some time out for yourself. Maybe let go of situations or friendships or something that perhaps no longer serves you well. Think about letting go. So it's a good time of year for kind of contemplating and releasing, thinking about the things that we want to move forward with and the things we want to leave behind. So let the head be heavy. Let the arms rest down by sides or on your lap, whichever is comfortable. Arms feel heavy, very heavy, difficult for you to move them. The legs are heavy. Relax the whole of the body. Let it sink a little deeper into the floor, into the chair. So a little scan of the body, see is there any tension still lingering somewhere in the body? Can we release that last little bit of tension? And then drifting off. The whole body light like a feather can just drift. And drifting off out into the beautiful countryside. And as you drift off, you come to a place that feels comforting, warming, just the right place for you. The sun is shining, it's a nice warm spring, almost summer day, and the sun is warming your skin. So we come to this beautiful place. There's lots of wonderful lush green grass around, lots of green everywhere, different shades, trees blowing in the breeze, shrubs, the hedgerows, the grass, again lots of different shades, deep greens and light greens, and flowers. And we come to this place and just take a gentle stroll along this beautiful footpath. The path is comfortable, it's wide, and you feel safe and able to walk along this pathway. And as the path slowly weaves in different directions, you notice different bits of nature that you maybe haven't noticed before. So perhaps different flowers that you've not seen. Maybe there's little parts of this area, secret little areas that would be lovely places to just sit and contemplate. As we walk along, we come to near to the water, a safe distance, and we can hear the sound of the waves, a gentle movement, a gentle lapping on the shore. Hear that sound. Very powerful, releasing. Notice how the rhythm of the movement of the water synchronizes with your breath. And let the waves take away anything that you need to release. And feel each incoming wave energize you and revitalize. As if you're being recharged, plugged in, recharged, re-energized. And you continue walking along this path. Feel the connection with the earth beneath you. You may be barefoot, maybe you have shoes on, whatever is comfortable as you look down at your feet. So feel that solid ground connecting you to the earth. Feel that vibration. Feel that strong earth connection. And as you wander along this wonderful path near the edge of the cliff with a big wall at one side, and there are some spiky leaves along there, it's a beautiful gorse plant. So they're quite spiny, the leaves on those, and bright yellow, beautiful yellow flowers. So you can observe those as you walk past and see how does that feel. And then continuing along, we just notice the different flowers that suddenly appear. There may be some of your favourites that you may be already aware of, or perhaps the ones that you've not come across before, and just notice their colours. Maybe there are more yellows. We're quite lucky to have lots of yellow flowers in the UK. So maybe more yellows or pinks. And you can look down as you come around the bend. You can see just ahead of you where the cliff goes down to the water's edge. There are lots of different flowers like a patchwork all along the cliff's edge. See the little heads nodding in the gentle breeze. And notice which ones you're drawn to, what colour, what shape. And then you find it's time to have a little rest. So you come to a clearing, some wonderful fresh grass, freshly cut, just down on the side. So you find yourself a wonderful spot to rest. There are some beautiful trees there, some big ancient trees. So notice what types of trees there are, maybe some oaks. Notice what's there. And you find yourself a spot to lay down on the grass, to go deeper. So maybe you want to sit under the shade of the beautiful trees, or maybe you prefer to be out in the warmth of the sun, whichever position suits you. And as you're wandering to your spot, you see those wonderful, I think they're wonderful anyway, little yellow dandelions looking at you, reminding you to let go, to release the things we need to release. So you find yourself a suitable spot and lay down. You close your eyes and you feel that connection between the earth beneath you and your body. Eyes are closing and you breathe in that fresh, clean sea breeze air. Feel the lungs being cleansed and energised. It smells so much fresher when we're in these beautiful surroundings with the wonderful sea air. So again, the body relaxes completely and you go deeper. And you become aware of those flowers and plants that are around you on your walk. And as you close your eyes and drift, one of those comes to mind, it comes to you. And you make a connection with that flower, that plant. So just notice which one it is. It may be one that you're familiar with, it may be your favourite. Maybe it's not one you're familiar with. So first of all, notice, what is it? Is it a tree? Is it a flower? Is it a shrub? And you look at this wonderful gift from nature and you connect with it, draw it to you. And take a nice close-up look at it, really look at it. So notice its shape. So if it's a flower, notice the shape of the flower. Does it have a central area with petals coming out all around it like a daisy or a sunflower? Does it maybe have a tall stem? Is it only a little tiny flower? Would you almost walk past it and not notice? Or is it maybe shaped like a bell? And does that bell hang down? Does it flow upwards like a tulip or hang down like a bluebell? Does it maybe hang like an umbrella? Just notice. Notice the colour. What colour is it? And that colour, is it a pale colour? Is it a deep, bright colour? Or somewhere between? So notice all those finer details really connect with that flower or shrub or tree. And notice as you touch it, how does it feel? Is it silky smooth? Is it shiny? Is it fluffy? Is it prickly? Notice how it feels. And then you hold that gift towards you to your heart. And you really connect with that message from that flower, that shrub, that tree. So as you breathe into it, go deeper and maybe get a sensation of the message, the gift from that particular part of nature, whether it's strength, whether it's comfort or support. And then thanking the nature kingdom, the flower, the gift that it's given you. And just breathe in that gift. Feel it drench your whole body, your cells, your skin, every part of your body, taking in that beautiful gift from the nature kingdom. And then become aware of your breathing once more. How does your breathing feel now? Is it shallow? Is it deeper? And feel the weight of your body resting on the support, on the bed, on the chair. So gradually become more aware of your body. Maybe taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it go with a sigh once more. Become aware of your hands and feet. Feel them connecting with your body, with the floor, with the chair. And maybe just beginning to bring some movement into your body, so moving fingers, moving toes. And then feel into the body. How would the body like you to react now, to come back to this moment? Do we need to stretch? Do we need to curl up into a little ball and maybe move the knees and massage a little into the back, or a little rocking side to side, whichever movement feels the right one to bring you back, to release any last little bits of tension or stiffness in the body. And then bringing yourselves back to the chair, back to this moment. And again, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it go. And feel yourself on the floor once again, grounded, your feet down on the floor, or just feel that connection between you and that solid ground beneath the chair, beneath the bed, and back fully with us back in this moment. So I hope that you found something nice, met a lovely flower or a plant or a tree. It'd be lovely to hear from you and let me know if there's anything different that you maybe saw, or if you wanted to share with us how you did with that meditation, if it's maybe something that you've done before. I say often bring this every now and again into classes, particularly in the winter time when people are a bit lacking in some of the nature and the beautiful flowers. There's not so many colours around at this time of year, so it's quite nice to just go and connect with them. You can do it with animals as well, which is again is another little alternative that you can do. So we're all still up in our little drifted world. So lovely. Oh, we are still awake then. Well done. Thank you for letting me know you're still there. So anyone going to share with us how they felt now? Or about what flowers came up for them? And again, it might not be a flower that you know, even if it was just a blue flower or a pink flower. Because sometimes there are unusual ones that come forward that you perhaps haven't seen before. Okay then, so we've got a little bit of time left. Oh, thank you, Sarah, for coming, giving some feedback. You're all still up in the air, aren't you? So yeah, lovely. Glad you enjoyed that. And yeah, the yoga breath is really good. The Ujjayi breathing, it's also known as the warrior breath and the psychic breath and the victorious breath. So it's very good at letting us really connect with the energetic side of things. So very often, particularly in the West and in gym situations, yoga is often thought of as exercise. And it's just nice to, even if you just add the yogic breathing or that Ujjayi breathing, it means that we get something a little bit, it's like an extra level, an extra dimension to the practice. So it helps you to be a bit more aware of those things. Oh, lovely. It's nice that people are meeting gorse. Yeah, I've met some gorse in the flesh just recently. Oh, lovely. Tiny pink flowers. So gorse, again, is quite good. There's a lot of people feeling a bit kind of overwhelmed with things at the moment. So gorse is a nice little gift. So I kind of think of it as extra, as maybe a sort of shamanic way of working with the flower essences. So as well as using them to take them internally, you know, this is another way that you can connect with the flower itself. So whether you've got a picture of the flower, or you could go and find a picture of flower so you know what it looks like. Because it might be one that you don't know, and you might have to go and find which flower it is. If you wanted to come on one of my retreats, there's a few planned for next year. I do usually a spring and an autumn one in Llandudno, beautiful Victorian town on the right opposite the water. There's a pier and there's the Great Orme that you can go up. You can walk up it, or you can get a train up there. It's a nice little town actually. It's got a lovely atmosphere, lovely energy to it. So I've got in May, there's a weekend there, the 19th of May, and I get repeat attendees of that. They love it, and we have wonderful food, and we have a little hotel that we stay in, and it's very nice food, and they look after us well. Oh wow, thanks Aisling. Going back to a flower that you haven't seen for a long time. I know it's a really powerful way of working with flowers because you never know what's going to pop in. And the actual visual that I take you on, it's an experience that I had in Anglesey in the spring. I can't remember if it was last spring or the spring before actually. And there was lots of different coloured flowers everywhere. So it's usually some of my meditations are based on a truth when we've been camping and we've been out walking. That'll often be the base of something, and then we just kind of connect with whatever is around us nature-wise. So yeah, I've got a weekend in May, and the October one, the date is not quite finalised yet, and I'm planning a one-day session again in Wirral, so only if you're kind of local really, on a Sunday at the end of January, to give us all something positive to look forward to. And the last one, there was somebody that had not done yoga before, and she really needed the day. And she looked like she'd had a facelift by the end of it, because it was very much about focusing on basically relaxation, and we did lots of gentle stretches and some of the yoga nidra, which is kind of a little bit deeper into the relaxation if you've come across that. You can get some recordings of yoga nidras, but sometimes the voices aren't quite so soothing, and I know that I often lose students. They fall off to sleep because the idea is you're supposed to stay awake, but it doesn't always work out that way. So you do hear some very deep breathing and the odd snore here and there, but that's okay, isn't it? And so it's quite good to use to try, if you are struggling to sleep, it's another little thing that you can use to try and help you to sleep. So I said the France is the big one this year. It's a whole week. Thank you, Sarah, shared the details of it on from my page, so it's on the feed there. And so if you're interested in that, so all the information is on there. You can always get in touch with me. You can, if you're not sure, if you've not done yoga before, my classes are very suitable for all levels, particularly for beginners. I'm very aware about kind of preparing the body before we do anything stronger, and so very much about doing some breathing exercises and some deep relaxation. There will be some yoga nidra in there, and there will be wonderful, wonderful food. Having been and experienced the beautiful place, it will be a lovely week, and hopefully the sun will shine too, so even better. So anybody else sharing with us what flowers they met? What else did we have? So yeah, pale pink flowers, very nice. So we've had pinks and yellows, and Aisling, I'm not familiar with the one that you've mentioned, or Bretia, from your mum's garden. So what does that remind you of then when you connect with that flower? Does it just soothe you? That's why I remember it from childhood. Does it take you back to being a child? That's always a bit of a delay before the information comes through, isn't it? It's quite nice as well. Sometimes we'll do a meditation where we'll go and sit and end up inside something like a bluebell or one of the kind of bell-like flowers, and that's quite nice as well. So you can kind of change that around a little. So anyway, if we've all shared everything, I know I'm a little bit before my time. I thought I'd leave us time to bring in any feedback. No? Alright, so Aisling again, blue, purple, tiny ones, very much from childhood. Yeah, it's nice to just be reminded of that inner child again, isn't it? And just be back to childhood, especially this time of year. We can be childlike sometimes, can't we? But it's always for the children, isn't it? So it's nice to just be reminded and be taken back to that time once more. So if that's all we've got to share, then I don't want to just waffle on for the rest of the time. But thank you for being here, and or for listening to the recording afterwards. I do intend to do some recordings that are going to be available at some point in the future. I just need to get myself and the technology all working from the same page. So I hope you enjoy that, and you get some nice rest and some relaxation from it. And I hope to see you all again at some point in the future. So thanks very much for listening in. I'll see you again. Bye.